Hi, yeah, welcome back to part two, Destiny and the Lou show. Um,
Hello.
hi, Yellow, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back, Deb.
You're welcome, you're welcome. This is our regular slot, isn't it, girl?
It is. We are regulars.
We are. We are a team, you and me.
We are indeed. We are indeed.
So, as you were saying on part one about how that they know everything about their target. It's the common term is checkbooking.
Yeah. Surveillance gathering, really, and this is what they use to manipulate you. So I mean, this session, normally lasts sort of, what we call the honeymoon period in any relationship. Well, it's great for the narcissist where they're getting all the highs and all the excitement, and the whirlwind romance, because they do love, that's what they do love to do. They love to create that perfect fairy tale whirlwind romance. And they are addicted to the neurochemicals it creates. There is a physical side to what is going on with this as well, because
Is that the narcissist or is it the target that's
both,
taking or both?
both.
Both.
Yeah. There is a neurochemical relationship that is going on in here, because the narcissist is generating an addiction to the high that you get with power. The target is getting addicted to the high that you get with being in love. So you've got some very, very potent neurochemicals going on: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and adrenaline. There is another one which comes in later, which is the stress hormone, which is cortisol. Now, when the narcissist starts to get bored, because after a while, sort of like because they have to keep raising the bar and creating another exciting environment or another exciting event, to go off and do, skipping off into the sunset, etc. And that takes an awful lot of effort and planning and investment, because this is what they're doing, is they want a return on their investment.
Yes.
They will start to get bored because they are not getting the same high. So usually with sort of a relationship like this, the sexual element is usually very, very intense, very exciting, very racy, and extremely sort of passionate, sort of swinging off the chandeliers, that type of thing, and they start to get bored because they're not getting the same rush. So they will start to sort of pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, what that does to the target is, it's like, whoa, what's going on? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? So you start getting silent treatments. Start getting subtle digs. You'll start getting disappearing acts, and letdowns as well. It will be cancellations at the last minute with, pathetic excuses or no excuses whatsoever. And then the bullying starts, because now they want to return.
Yeah.
They want the return on their investment. Now it's time for you to pay. So it will be, okay, well, we had to cancel that because, that contract fell through and I haven't got the money. So if I can borrow that money off of you, I mean, whatever contract that they're talking about or money that was coming in is non-existent. You don't know this, because it's a lie, because the narcissist is a compulsive liar. So good that they believe their own lies.
Yeah. They don't know the difference between fact and fantasy. You can always tell when a narcissist is lying because their lips are moving.
Well, this is it. And they're scam artists as well. So naturally, the target, because their empathy is being played upon, will naturally want to help and want to give, because by this point they feel a deep bond of trust and oneness and, a complete resonance.
Obligation, really,
Yes,
I
exactly,
suppose.
exactly. Yeah, complete validation and security within this fake relationship. And so now it is time for you to come across with the goods. They normally sort of like hook you in with the sex element, and that they get that anywhere because, they're normally off having sex with somebody else as well, where they're supposed to be doing something else. And now it's time to come across with the physical goods, your money,
Yeah,
your business, your vehicle, your deeds on your house. This
yeah,
is they are wanting. They are wanting some capital gain. This is the whole reason that they have targeted you, because you have something that they want. Because it's about asset stealing. It's a hostile takeover.
that's exactly what it is, isn't it, though?
It's a hostile takeover. So what they don't want, it's not enough to be a smash and grab raider and to come and steal it off of you. No, no, no. That doesn't rock their boots. They get off on manipulating you into handing it over willingly, because
Yeah,
it's, look, no flies on me. You gave it of your own free will.
yeah, yeah,
Joke's on you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't hold a gun to your head. I
Yes.
didn't. You gave it to me willingly. It was a gift.
Yes.
What?
Exactly.
But what they forget is that it was under extreme duress and coercion.
It is this, and this is the coercion that that really does start to destroy you. So at this point, the common sense will normally kick in with the target, because the tweeters go on, and you start to realise something's not quite right. You can't work out what it is, but you start to feel uncomfortable. And this is absolutely gold for the narcissist, because they want you to feel uncomfortable. And this is the state that they want to keep you in a state of constant discomfort, because it's now they are draining your emotional, psychological, mental, and physical energy, because they're literally sucking the soul out of you.
Mm-hmm.
They
I
move
call,
very,
I
yeah,
do, I call them soul suckers
yeah.
because, as you say, they do. They literally suck the soul out of you. Sorry to interrupt you there, Lou.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, the number of sort of people, men and women, in the beginning of the relationship, there's lots of photographs and selfies that's posted all over social media, because the narcissist loves to show it off. Look
Yeah,
what I've got, because you're a trophy. Look what
yeah,
I've got. It's about gloating.
yeah,
And if you look at a photograph of somebody who's in a relationship with a narcissist, in the first sort of like few weeks, what I call the holiday, the honeymoon period, and photographs of them together 6 months down the line, they look like two different people.
yeah,
You can see how the energy has been drained out of the target. Now, the narcissist doesn't look any different, but there are marked differences. The whole demeanor, their energy, their facial expressions, their body posture, the body language is an absolute state of fear.
yes,
Because what the target doesn't realize is that they have an unhealthy, toxic attachment. It's not love. They're coming from a place of deep unconscious fear, because that is what the narcissist has hooked them in on their insecurities.
exactly.
And the one thing they do love to say, well, you need me. We need each other, which is very, very true from the narcissist point of view, because the narcissist needs you far more than you need them. And they will try to convince you that you need them. Well,
Yeah,
who's going to take care of you? How are you going to cope without me? Never mind that you had a life and you was quite strong and managed to deal with your business and handle your life quite perfectly, adequately before they came along. And they managed to convince you, because they drain you of your confidence, that you couldn't cope without them. And so they are creating a bond of codependency. And it is about a power game. It's absolutely nothing to do with love whatsoever. It's all about having power over you.
yeah.
So they
Power and control, isn't it?
power and control. So that you are literally a puppet on strings, that they make you dance to their tune,
Yeah,
because they get a kick out of it.
yeah.
They get
Well,
bored. Go on.
they break down your boundaries. and you'll be agreeing to things and doing things that you wouldn't do normally, and you do it again because you feel that if you don't do it, you're going to lose them. Like some of them, they might start getting like the target into weird, strange sexual practices.
Yes, and this is where a lot of damage happens, because you think that you're entering into, I mean, there are, various different sort of sexualities, but I'm going to go for, even whether you are whichever sexuality that you identify with, whether you're part of the LGBTQI clan. It doesn't matter, because you are thinking that you are in a monogamous style of relationship. When you're in what you think you're in a committed relationship, they will try to destabilize you by saying, well, we should try an open relationship. Because at this point, the narcissist has got several others on the go that are all in pretty much the same sort of like various states of disrepair that the target is heading headlong into. Because it wants you to accept that it's got other partners, because it likes to gloat. It is a serial cheat. It is absolutely wholly incapable of any type of fidelity whatsoever, because it has no respect for itself, and it has no respect for anybody else, because it sees everybody as a resource, as a food source.
That's right.
And so, somebody who may be quite secure in their sexuality, with their likes and dislikes and that, may find themselves being drawn into sexual practices that they're not quite comfortable with, but they do it anyway, because they're doing it for their partner, because they are subconsciously terrified of being abandoned, and it plays into the abandonment and rejection fears that each of us has, and they play on that, and it's a very, very cruel, brutal emotional abuse, and a total abuse of trust, because you are, being coerced into sexual behaviours that you don't really want to do, you wouldn't normally do under a normal circumstances, and it's very, very damaging, that results in sort of, men and women participating in things that, when the relationship is over, that they feel very, very negatively about, and can take many, many years and lots of therapy to actually get over, because they feel completely and utterly violated.
Yeah, well, they're being sexually abused too.
Well, they are being sexually abused, but they don't realise it at the
No,
time.
no, no. This is it. This is it. And again, it's all about the power and control, and it's all about. See, the more sad the target is, the happier the narcissist is, because he feeds or she feeds off on that sadness. That's what gives them strength.
Yes, yes, it is. It is. They, the ideal emotional state for the target to be in, for the narcissist, is in a state of confusion, because while and this is where it's very, very difficult, because the words don't match up to the behaviour, and sometimes, you will be getting quite negative language and positive behaviour. So the mouth is saying, I don't like you, you're rubbish, you're useless, but the behaviour is saying, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Yeah.
And then they'll switch it and turn it on its head. And then you'll get the out of the mouth, I love you, I love you, I love you, but the behaviour is saying, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Right? So you don't know, because you cotton onto one thing and you go, actually, that's collars and cuffs aren't matching up here. Then they'll flip it on its head. Now, what you at this point have to start noticing is patterns, because it will alternate, because what it is trying to do is create a trauma bond. So another thing that a narcissist will do.
Right. Lou,
Yeah.
15 minutes is nearly up. We're going to
Okay.
be going over to part 3, where we will be discussing about trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding, yes.
Yes.
Which is what makes it so difficult to get out of the relationship. So if we wrap this up here now, and we'll speak to and hear from our listeners in part 3.
Great. And listeners, please, if you like our show, please hit the subscribe button. And any comments, feel free to leave any comments on the YouTube page, or come over to Destiny Debbie Your Show on Facebook. Right, I will see you all in part 3.
Thank you, Debbie.